That's him being
That's
irresponsible for nutting
I didn't cut you off when you
irresponsible woman, sir.
That's why I just listen when you talk.
He nuts in the woman, and now she's irresponsible. Are you serious?
I'll let you rest in your femininity. Go ahead.
Are you serious, bro? Are you serious? The man starts the process by nutting in the irresponsible woman. He's the first irresponsible person in the damn situation.
What would you tell your daughter? Watch this, Precious. Hold on, Precious. If you was raising a daughter, what would you? No, don't do that, Precious. He's running now. Watch this.
No.
Look, he's done. He's cooked.
There's other people on the panel.
He's not gonna answer that question. What would you tell your daughter? Whose fault would you say it was your daughter? If it was your daughter, whose fault
is what? Huh?
Whose fault is it if it's your daughter?
I just said it's the man's
fault.
Whose
fault is it if it was your daughter?
I just said it's the man's fault for nutting in the woman. I said it's the man's fault.
So you'd raise your daughter in a way that if she let someone inside of her and nut in her, that it's his fault before she got married? What? That's what you coaching? That's what you coaching.
I'm confused about what you're saying.
So if you had a daughter that you brought up, Mr. Lecco has a daughter that he respects and cherishes and values.
Yes.
And she decided to let a man in her raw and nut in her. Is that his fault or her fault for giving it up?
That is her fault for allowing him to have sex without a condom.
Now we can move on. Now we can move on. Pandered. You pandered.
On the man's side,
you done. You got famous.
For nutting in her.
Nah, you got famous. You can move on now, JR. He just did it again.
It's sad, bro. Like, you okay? I'm looking at B. Taylor now. Like, damn, I agree with B. Taylor.
Honestly, the biggest problem with our community, and I see it on display personally right now, is that we're all reactive to the problems that happen within our community because now we're trying to solve for when we was never aligned in the first place, right? And the alignment that you're supposed to have is to vet effectively. And the reason why we have these principles and why I live my life based off of the biblical structure is that I would never be in this situation because I would never have a kid out of wedlock. I would never put myself in a position to impregnate a woman unless I was married to her. And when I got married to her, that means that part of marriage is to put myself in a position to have kids, right? And so
facts.
Right now, we having a conversation based off of being reactive to a situation in which we empowering women to be able to make the decision for us. When in reality, and we all know
we made the decision
that men control access to marriage. When women control access to sex. So Ali is right. Mr. Let Go has a point. Lucky has a point. But it's all irrelevant when we operating outside of our purpose and we having kids outside of wedlock. And so if we decided to marry before we carry, then we remove the reactive nature of how it is that we move within the community, and instead we start to create stronger families.
That's it. She'll be under the dominion of the man, the control of the man, if he marries her and trusts her to be up under his dominion. So when she gets pregnant,
let him have his point. You always try to take his point. Let him have his point.
And it goes back to the system.
Let him have his point
about earlier. These dudes are just nutting in women and then wondering why the woman did what she did. Because he didn't marry her ass.
You already said it was your daughter's fault. We already moving on. He made his point. If people are being reckless and irresponsible, that's the problem. But I also did say that a man should be responsible of the problem if he created as well too. Essentially, everything we should take care of everything. Everything is our responsibility. But as long as that woman listens, if she doesn't listen, he can't be responsible over her. That's my point. And I already said it's a man's fault. No, you ain't nothing else you can say over that because it's our responsibility. If we made a mistake, we got to fix it.
Right.
But if she won't let you fix it, you can't do nothing about it.
I think the biggest thing is that we tend to want to hold women more accountable, in which they should be held accountable largely. And I see why Ali is so passionate about his point, because men by default are held accountable because we have no other option but to be there in our child's life or to be subjected to whatever happens in family court. So whether we want to or not, we have to participate in that child's life.
But we start the process of the participation by nutting in a woman?
I don't think that, but we did. And I think he acknowledged that though. I don't think that he's disagreeing with that specifically. What we saying is that less responsibility is put on the shoulders of women because they're so used to men being subjected to the nature of how we operate, and that we have no safety net, and we always gonna have to be responsible for our decisions and our actions, regardless of how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
But largely, women is absolved from that because they have the federal government, they have family court laws, they have laws to be able to determine, hey,
women are children. Yeah, I agree.
Well,
can I jump in? Can I say something on that? Because I think men don't understand that women keeping the child, regardless if she keeps the child or not, going through abortion is very traumatizing for a lot of women. I think men just think it's just, you just walk in and zoom zoom and it's done. Like, no, it's like literally women will go through that and their body is like traumatized for a whole year.
Yeah, nobody is debating that.
I know. I'm saying, y'all saying like women just, like it's so easy for them once they get pregnant, like they have to.
I'm not speaking towards that at all.
Being a single mom obviously is a bad stigma that you have to carry on your weight and your shoulders. On top of that, you have to
be Taylor.
Hold on, I just want to make my point.
I'm sorry. You're right.
You got to carry that stigma. You got to take care of that child. Your market value has went down. Now it's hard for you to date. Now you have to you can't be selfish anymore. You have to take care of a child for that completely year, especially if that man's not involved or you're having troubles back and forth with that man. You're going through postpartum depression, trying to be the best mother that you can be. You probably have to go now and work. I feel like the child is her accountability because she has to take care of it, and she risks her market value, and her body will never be the same. Her mind will never be the same. She will never have the same time as she used to have. And the man that she probably wanted to go for, and not the man that she got pregnant with, she will probably never get. So she has to live with a lot of those consequences. Y'all want to talk about the financial part, like court and federal government and taxes and all of that stuff like that. Like y'all are thinking from a standpoint, but y'all are not looking at it from like what that weight that woman has to carry for being the parent and the caretaker if that man is not around, or if that man starts a new family, or whatever the situation is. I think that men, y'all say that when y'all have a child, y'all have to be accountable, regardless of being there for the kid or a family court. Well, same thing with the woman. She has to now risk everything that her value went down. So that
she let him go raw, didn't she?
Let her finish.
No, that's it. I'm just saying, like, she has.
Well, let me ask you a question, B. Taylor. How do you solve for that?
How do you solve that?
Yeah, how do you solve for it?
Solve it after or before, preventing it? Because I don't recommend it.
Okay, so why would you open your legs up into a man that you're not married to in the first place?